The hell was that now? What was the fucking computer doing that? No, I heard a beep. It was the television. I thought it was my computer doing that. Like, what the? Huh? Yeah, I'll take it home. I got some potato chips there. I can eat.
Mark Twain said the best of all was
You want the poison coleslaw? Hey, ask Chris. I'll tell you how poisonous that is. Poor guy had diarrhea so bad they put him in the hospital for 2 days. It wasn't 3. Huh? Yeah, he does. Been there a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Anyway,
He might have been there a couple weeks ago and you didn't tell us.
No, I think it was.
my mom had told me that he was.
He sounds awfully sympathetic to people on the television who are having those problems.
Yeah, but always have a slight little experience with that, but how they feel.
My job is to defend it. And after bring
So what poisonous place did you eat this time?
And he said,
Didn't eat at no
my
poisonous
job is
place.
to defend it.
Huh?
I didn't eat no poisonous place.
Well, you must have eaten something that was
I
poisonous.
mentioned Chinese food before.
Well, I remember that.
I
Epic
think you
event.
heard something to him about the murder of Danny Kleiner.
What the hell did I just do here?
I don't want to get my dad in trouble.
Get in there.
Your father is obligated to maintain high confidentiality when you are not.
Where's that bag I had there?
Been studying my dad's library. You're a lawyer. You guys both say that the body was on the 18th hole. You felt sick. Sonny was just out there rotting on the golf course and nobody knew.
Rotting on the golf course.
Nice.
Another special movie
Things in the
there.
flash mob to make sure they're good.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the voice?
Let me stick that in there so I don't lose it.
It's definitely a poor guy.
Go ahead, too. I wouldn't even roll.
All right, I got your report.
Any testimony spilled over this afternoon. Thought I used my lunch from work. Some guy just dropped this off. Burns from Palmcrest Academy.
Security guard, better late than never. No wonder he's been dragging his heels.
On what?
So, story, have you seen Delco?
Yeah, right over.
Hey, we got a security report. GHB was turned into him, Mr. Brooks 2 weeks ago.
Report doesn't say what Brooks did with it.
There was no follow-up report given. I guess the security guys didn't want to lose their jobs.
Well, they won't have to. This information will be able to get along.
Let's call it a
If I buy a 50-inch TV from Costco with American Express, you get an extended 2-year warranty. Is that any good?
No, I actually think I have Evil Dead 1 on VHS someplace still.
You
should watch it. Dude, who has a working VCR? Yeah? I would have thought there was none left. I think my last one broke a few years back.
I want to guess.
It's not cash. Your cash from my car. Here's my card.
Can I make her?
That was good.
You get the magazine?
Yeah, I put it in the bag.
So maybe next week.
Yeah.
You know, next week is right, Scott?
What is next week? I forget.
Flea market?
No.
Every day. That's what I mean, barbecue.
You don't want to do a barbecue next week? Okay.
Well, I don't see why I wouldn't be out.
Hi, Mike. I guess we maybe.
See if Scott's gonna be around.
Yeah, we'll see. He's not big on barbecues, so. Oh boy, is it nice out here. shit here I gotta put in the car. Let's see. Put the food down there so it doesn't fall over. And we'll put this.
I had to walk the hot coals.
I know. I have it on video. It's hard to believe that was 8 years ago, you know? Doesn't seem like it was 8 years ago. Oh, it started.
Why wouldn't it?
Well, I remember that night. Did your car didn't want to start? It was going. Am I going to come out and ready to look at it? The Green Feet episode.
How awful.
I'm so glad I had the camera that night. Oh boy. That would have been terrible not to be able to record that. See if we can meet the Evil Dead on the way home.
I smell it every fucking Saturday night.
Yeah, a few little skunky poos here and there. Tomorrow I gotta go to Kisco with the old man. Load up some more stuff. Something just sold tonight when I was watching. Some old glass lampshades. One of them's broken, but I guess you can use two of them good anyway. Hopefully there'll be a better movie next week.
Well, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Yeah, it was as cheesy and low budget as the original.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of the effects obviously were better because of modern technology, you know, but I actually liked the original a little better because of the way it was. And it was so low budget. It was a guy's first movie or something like that. And so it kind of raw, which made it quite a bit better. I wonder where the hell they managed to find that car. What junkyard they dredged that out of.
How's Terry's new job going?
What new job?
Oh, I thought she got
A new job? Terry now.
doing the fruit, the edibles.
No, apparently that fell through. She never can't figure out why they fall through, and I keep telling her why. She don't listen.
Why, did they do a background check?
Yes, of course they do. Every employer does a background check nowadays. They catch her lying in their fucking resumes, and of course they're not going to hire her.
What did she put on her resume?
God only knows. Something very creative, I'm sure. You know, years ago you can get away with stuff like that, but not now.
Yeah.
Now it's too easy to just look at everything up online. It's all right there. You can't hide anything.
Paper application and make a few phone calls.
Tappity tap tap tap. Oh, look at that. Criminal record and everything you want. It's all right there. Oh, whoa, damn, we got a tree on the fucking road.
Shit.
Branch must have fallen down. Not even windy tonight. How that happened?
I think it was a plot to crush my car.
Probably. I didn't see her today though. She's up drinking with her sister at the county fair. State fair.
What about last week?
I saw her last week. Yeah.
No.
So how come I know she hasn't been employed yet?
County fair?
The state fair in Rhinebeck up there. The one you froze to death at. Except that was in September. I guess they must be doing it earlier this year. Or maybe it goes on for a while. I really don't know.
got alcohol up there.
Oh, sure they have it on the way. They find it. Remember next week to bring up some special food for your new cat.
Oh yeah, no, I won't forget. So what's Mike gonna name him?
I can't go and name it. You're gonna name it. Your cat.
He's gonna take him to the vet,
He's not gonna take him to the vet. You are.
get the shots, take care of
He's-
the worms.
That's what you're doing. Yep.
And he's gonna brush them and comb them.
Yeah, you will.
You know, Mikey's got some overtime coming up.
Uh-huh.
All three of us can chip in.
Good luck with that. I got my own cats to worry about. The world's full of nice kitties. Doesn't mean I'm going to adopt them all.
Well, he seemed nice enough.
Oh, you know, he's a nice cat. No one said he wasn't. I got plenty of cats down the yard now.
Be the house of black cats.
One time, that's all I had down the yard was black cats. Every year I had 6 or 7 of them, but I haven't seen one in years now, except for the one with no tail. The Manx. Who's actually getting friendly enough that I was briefly able to pet her today and yesterday. She's only been there 2 years. I managed to get that far with her. So that's an improvement anyway. You know, getting there. Oh shit, we didn't see the fucking, what was the other one? Breaking Bad. Well, I could always watch it. It's in my DVR anyways. This is the final season, I believe.
I never got caught up on it.
Well, don't you remember when it ended last year?
No, I didn't. You know where I left off on it?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you exactly where I left off on it.
You mean when you fell asleep?
Yeah, okay. I fell asleep for the whole season.
Well, I don't know, because we were watching it at Mike's place.
Originally, looking over the highway there in the first season.
Yeah.
That's where I left off.
But we watched all the other seasons up there.
No, we didn't. Nope.
Well, I never watch them at home when I'm caught up. Except for the final one.
Somehow I missed like all the seasons. Somehow.
I don't know how you could have. Even Mike has seen them. I know he has.
Well, I'm so far out of date on that.
Well, at least, what do you call it? Hell on Wheels is back.
When's Walking Dead come out? October, November?
That's always around Halloween.
What about Cops?
Cops? I have no idea. I don't keep track of Cops.
What about Boardwalk Empire?
That one actually will be coming out very soon. Very soon. I have it on my short list to order these season 3 on DVD. In fact, it may only be a couple weeks before that's available. There's going to be some spectacular violence in season 3.
Walking Dead or Boardwalk?
Both. Well, Boardwalk Empire starts in 1920. That's season 1. 1920 to early 1921. Then you have 1922, which is season 2. Now we're 1923, season 3. And by 23, Prohibition was really starting to cook. You know, this is when, you know, the gangs are really coalescing into their illegal activities with the liquor and everything else. You know, it didn't just happen overnight. It took a few years to really start to go. And between 23 and 33, they were battling it out all over the place, you know. And it seemed to be following the actual historical record whenever possible, using real people, real events. And there's going to be a spectacular psychopath in season 3. I know that already. Not exactly uncommon in the world of organized crime, you know.
Yeah, they took out that guy with the trench knife.
Yeah. Well, there were thousands of guys like him that came and went in that period. He was a soldier. A mob soldier. That's what he was. You know, they were expendable. Now, Nucky Thompson, he was a real person.
Yeah, he was the mayor of Atlantic City, right?
No, he was the comptroller, or what the hell was he? Shit, now I forget. The treasurer.
Yeah, that's right.
He was the treasurer. But he was the real political power behind the throne. He wielded the real power. Both legitimate power and illegitimate power in Atlantic City at that time.
I wonder if they'll show him building Route 9.
Don't know.
Actually, what's her face? The missus sold the deed to the church, or gave it to the church.
Yeah. Arnold Rothstein, he was a real person.
Well, all of them were apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we met. Who the hell we meet already? Of the New York Mafia, we met the fucking.
Oh, the guy in New York City there.
Yeah.
Luciano?
Now Luciano, yeah, we've met him, but he's not yet a real big player on the scene. He will be, but he's not there yet. He's not a boss. We met the boss. Shit, what the hell was his name? We haven't met the other boss, Salvatore Maranzano. We haven't met him yet. He was a big player in the mob at that time. At that very time. Salvatore Maranzano, and who was the other one? Damn, there were two bosses at that time in New York. Capo tutti capos. What do you call it?
I got my inside circulation on now. Combat this.
Shit, now that's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to go home and look it up. You remember when they had to sit down with Lucky Luciano and Rothstein because Luciano was encroaching on the boss's turf and he had to pay him? What the hell was his name? Shit. Well, anyway, there's gonna be a major mob war. And the two New York mob families will be battling each other. And there's going to be a lot of bodies. But that happens a little bit later in the 20s. I think 1924, 25. About in there. And yes, Luciano does eventually come out on top of that. As one of the 5 New York families. You know, he was actually the guy who came up with the idea for the commission. But all of this happens later on. Right now you're seeing them when they were young, just getting started, you know, building their empires on illegal booze. Did we ever watch the Prohibition documentary? I think we did, yeah. It was a hell of a fucking time. There was a lot of shit was going on. And that was also the rise of Atlantic City at that time. You know, that was a city built on the profits of booze, basically, and later gambling. Fair, turn that down a little bit, Scott. I don't want to. See, well, if I get it on the video, then I get third-party contact bullshit I got to deal with.
What's third-party contact?
It means you have somebody else's material on the video, music, or a video or something like that. If you keep it low enough, it's not that bad. They leave it alone. And then you get those stupid ads popping up in your videos all the time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
If you get background noise?
Not background noise, but if you're playing a song in the background or something like that,
right? The
owner of the copyright has the option to put paid advertising on your video.
Really?
Oh yeah, they can do that. So you try to watch, all of a sudden there's a pop-up, boing, you know, for any, whatever they want to advertise. And they get the revenues from it.
Huh. Things you find out.
I mean, it's an infinitesimally small amount I'm sure they get. But in the meantime, it's irritating, you know, when you try to watch something and there it is. So I try to edit out those parts in the video so they're not fucking doing that. Salvatore Maranzano, and what the hell was the other guy's name? Crap. The fat man he used to go, I forget his name now. Well, we're going to see the rise of... I'm surprised we haven't met Joseph Bonanno yet. Because, well, you know why we haven't? Because we haven't met Maranzano yet. Bonanno was Maranzano's right-hand man. But I know the whole war culminates in 1931, so... We're not... Unless they run Boardwalk Empire a lot longer than I think they're going to. I guess they could. We may not see the whole end of the war.
Isn't that one of the better things on HBO right now?
Yes, it is. It's very popular.
Yeah, why would they cancel it?
No, they won't, but, you know, you're talking about the season we have to run like another 9 years, you know. It's a long time for a season to be on the air. They don't usually keep seasons around that long on HBO. 5, 6, 7 years.
Why don't they milk it if it's a hit show?
They will. They will for a while until people get tired of it.
Oh, you saw that glass?
Yeah, that was sold out coming up.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah,
boy, that was a big window.
Yeah, well, somebody got an accident. I got T-boned or something.
Why don't they sweep all that glass off?
I'm sure they will eventually.
Yeah.
That kind of glass doesn't harm tires. That's why it's just sugar glass. You know, the 20s are a fascinating period to most of us today. We just don't realize, you know, how lawless it actually was at times. How much shit was going on. This country was pretty fucked up in the 20s. But it was also a fun time. You know, Americans were pretty stressed by a lot of shit that happened during World War I and the plague that followed it. And they let loose. You know, they let loose a little bit in the 20s. It was a time of jazz and flappers and illegal hooch, speakeasies and Model Ts and, you know, all that shit. Whoop-de-doo, 23 skidoo. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. That was Chicago, of course. While we are seeing some of Chicago, it's mostly still focused on Atlantic City. Only seeing bits and pieces of Capone's life out there.
That guy driving to Chicago with no doors.
Well, that was Al Capone. That was a young Al Capone before he becomes the boss of Chicago, which he will in a few more years. But that's, you know, that's something they could actually make a whole series of, you know, just on that. That's enough material there for another whole series. You know, Chicago Empire, you know. The Chicago outfit, because there's lots of stories. Have we met Frank Nitti yet? I don't think we have. Mm-hmm. We will eventually. I'm sure he's going to pop up somewhere. Another big name from that era.
Why don't they fix this?
I don't know.
God.
Between 1922 and 1925, the networks got in place both for the cooking of booze and the importation of it under the radar from overseas in England, from Canada, even from Mexico. The mob had tied everything down by then. You know, it starts out fairly informally. Mom and pop cooking hooch in their cellar and selling to their neighbors. You know, shit like that, going on a farmer with a little cooker going. Of course, the hillbillies with their, you know, shit back in the woods. But by the mid-20s, the mob really controlled all of that. They eliminated the little guys and kind of made it into one gigantic business. You either worked for them or you disappeared, you know? One way or another, you were working for somebody. I gotta get a good copy of that fucking movie, The Bonanno Story. That was actually good. I had it on VHS, but the quality was not the greatest. I think it's out on DVD. I gotta look for it. Joseph Bonanno's fucking life story. that the FBI actually used the book to close down the mob. You know, they finally got an inside look at how the mob works, and they used that information against them.
Oh, like in that movie Casino where Pesci's like, this guy sunk the whole world.
Well, no, in that case, it was an FBI. That guy was keeping memoirs, not memoirs, but notebooks at the FBI. Joseph Bonanno actually sat down and wrote an actual memoir, a book.
Shit.
A book, you know, because he was the way he put it was, he was the only survivor of his generation, the last of the original mob, you know, and so now he could tell his story. But in the meantime, he also exposed the commission. He exposed a lot of shit. This is the early 1980s when he wrote it, and the FBI glommed onto that book and they used it to shut down the mob. You know, as much as they could. You know, they went after them after that, a lot of stuff.
In Casino, what was Casino? Just bookkeeping?
Yeah, that was just bookkeeping.
Look at this. What do we got here? Numbers, figures.
That was basically a set of books. The bookkeeper's books, you know.
The guy has a heart attack right there.
Yeah. Better that, you know, he's gonna get killed anyways. Might as well.
Well, little numbers here, little craps here, some figures.
Yeah.
This freaking guy sunk the whole world. That's so bad.
Oh yeah.
No word on Chicky?
I have not heard. You would be more likely to hear than I would.
No, heard nothing. Pat would be the only one to know.
I doubt it. Pat rarely sees Chicky.
Huh.
Well, you know, they don't orbit the same worlds. You know, they're two different things going on. Pat, you know, he's got his girlfriend, he's got his kids and shit. He's not hanging out in bars like Chicky does. And Pat works all the fucking time, you know, so.
Yeah, like Chicky.
Yeah.
Well, he was worried. Doesn't he work at the, or was working?
No, he was in the midst of trying to get his job back. Exactly why he lost it was not made clear to me, but he did manage to lose it.
He's a dishwasher. How did he get fired for?
I don't know. Probably tardiness, drunkenness on job. Who the hell knows?
I mean, it's one thing if you got like a government job or something, then you're a state job, then they got grounds to fire you. But washing dishes?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
That's bad. At least I give him credit for having a job and working.
Well, it's hard for an alcoholic to keep a fucking job. You know?
To keep the money flowing, to keep the booze flowing.
Yeah. But the Bonanno story, that was a good movie. Because Bonanno was actually still alive when they made the movie, and he actually comments during it. You know, this is an actual boss of bosses, a godfather, commenting on this movie as it's going along. You know,
How old was he when he died?
Oh, he was in his 90s.
Damn.
Yeah, he lived. He died of old age. His son is still alive. He was also a Maine guy.
How old is the son now?
Oh, he's well into his 70s by now.
Who's his big arch rival, Capone?
No. By then, by Bonanno's time, Capone was already finished. And that was Bonanno. He came to power after 1931. In the 1930s, he was a member of the commission, the original commission. He was a boss of the original 5 New York families, one of which still bears his name, the Bonanno crime family. They're still around. No Bonanno's, you know, involved in it anymore, but they still have the name. Yeah, the 5 New York families, Genovese, I don't remember them all, Gambino, Carlo Gambino, and of course Bonanno, Lucchese. Who was the 5th one? Shit, I can't remember.
Gotti?
No, he was Gambino. I can't even remember the freaking 5th one. Well, it doesn't matter, but they had the 5 families of the commission. Each one had, you know, the head of the family sat on the commission, and the decisions were made, life and death decisions by the commission. You know, who gets what territories, who gets bumped, who gets, you know, whatever the case may be. And for years, they successfully kept the peace that way. And Opry kept it below the radar, no notice of the government, you know, made their money. They got involved in unions and gambling and just about everything. Then, of course, by the 1970s, they all started going to jail. And they were getting bumped, of course, periodically, too. And Carlo Gambino, he retires and turns it over to Big Paul Castellano. Castellano gets bumped by Gotti, the Dapper Don there. And it was Gotti's generation that kind of really fucked it all up, you know. They wanted to be flashy, they didn't know how to keep their mouth shut. A lot of them turned, they flipped, they became rats and shit. Like Henry Hill. Although Henry Hill was never a made guy. So you really can't count him. But plenty of made guys did turn rat. And they were all from the generations that came after.
You're a rat. You know everything about being a rat.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Vinny the Chin finally went to jail, you know, and hell, he even got Whitey Bulger. The Whitey Bulger was never.
I remember hearing about these guys in the late 80s.
Well, Whitey Bulger was he was Irish Mafia. He was not Italian Mafia. But they did get, well, they got him a long time ago. They finally put him on trial. Even though the witnesses kept mysteriously dying, they did convict him finally. He's going to be spending the rest of his time in jail. Not that he has, he's already an old man, so how much does he have left? But still.
Boy, a lot of cars out tonight.
Well, it's not as late as it usually is for us. It's only 1 o'clock in the morning.
Boy, no skunk. Tricked them.
Yep. But the mafia lives on. They still exist. They're still there. They're still pulling their scams and everything else. And despite all the arrests and incarcerations and everything else, there's always somebody else to move up and take the place of the one that's gone.
Got a phone? Where's the phone? Two niggers just stole my truck. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah. Well, that was Henry Hill. Well, not Henry, but that was his story. Goodfellas. He's dead too.
Really?
Yeah, he died of natural causes.
How old was he?
Oh, well into his 60s, I believe.
Jeez, young.
Well, alcohol and drugs, many years of it, wore him down. At the end, he was a short order cook at a little restaurant out on the West Coast somewhere.
Seattle, I
and spent most of his time giving interviews and such to people who wanted to interview a real mobster. You know, not a real mobster, but somebody who was an associate of the mob. He was never a made guy. He never could be a made guy because he wasn't a Sicilian. But he wasn't even Italian. He was only half Italian, so they weren't going to make him. But
they shot Joe Pesci there.
Yeah. Those were all real people. And you know, Tommy, you know, Joe Pesci's character, he was a real person in real life. And he was a psychopath just like Tommy's character was. And Jimmy the Gent, you know, that who Henry pretty much put in prison, you know. And Paulie went to prison because of him too.
Conway.
Yeah, Jimmy Conway, Jimmy the Gent. Who had a contract out for years on Henry Hill, which was never collected on. And he eventually died in prison a long time ago. A man who loved to steal and then give it all away.
Ugh. That was gross.
And let's not forget Sammy the Bull.
What about that guy Bats that they buried?
Bats?
Yeah.
Oh, the made guy that killed, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they never found him.
Go get your fucking shine box.
Yeah. But by far the most famous guy to ever flip, I think, was Sammy the Bull. The highest ranking one, anyway. I mean, this guy does 19 murders and gets away with it, basically.
Paulie's looking for the guy. Hear anything? You let me know, all right?
Yeah.
Busting my fucking balls about this guy. Nobody knows what happened to him. Came in the joint that one night, he just disappeared.
Yeah.
All right,
He evaporated in the men's room. All we found was an empty jacket on the floor.
Well, you hear anything, you let me know, all right?
The pod people got him, yeah.
And then about halfway through the movie, we gotta get it out of there. What?
Yeah, throwing up condos or something. We
It's
gotta
been
move.
6 months. I don't care how long it's been. We gotta get it out of there. Yeah. What's that around? Is that around here somewhere?
Upstate, probably. Yeah, he would have been around here somewhere too. Yeah, probably was. I never did say exactly where it was, but this would be the area.
How about a wing?
He's hosing out the truck the next day.
Oh God, Henry, it stinks. Look, I had a skunk. All right.
It somehow got into the trunk.
I like Spider. You're gonna dig the hole. You're gonna get the line. What? My first hole I ever dug.
Yeah.
What's the world coming to? I'll show you what the world's coming to. What was that? A 44 he had?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember anymore.
That's what the world is coming to. Yeah, freaking maniac. Well, I should be around,
All right, next week, barbecue week time then.
and we'll invite the cat too.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be there. And he knows there's a soft touch there now, so he's definitely going to be around looking for handouts.